Okay. So last week we ran out of time because actually it's a beautifully chatty group, which is really wonderful. And I wanted to do the meditation that we didn't get to. So does anyone have anything before we start? Does anyone have anything they'd like to share about last week's session? Did you have anything that you wanted to share that sort of maybe arose during the week? If not, we can continue. Yep. Okay. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. We're going to start with a meditation. And in this meditation, we're going to return our attention to being in touch with our own body. And we're sensing the simple bodily sensations at the different parts of the body. We're just kind of connecting our body with mindful attention. So this is kind of what they do in the Vipassana in when they're looking at the following the sensations of the body. So first of all, think about just relaxing the body. Align your body, just feel the weight of the feet in the floor. If you're sitting at your desk, the weight of your hands in your lap and shoulders align with the hips and the ears align with the shoulders. Lengthen your spine. Bring your attention to the sensations of the breath. And think about all these people of our life and, just think of a reason for doing this meditation, maybe an altruistic motivation. That we're not just necessarily meditating for ourselves, but taking time now to meditate and to develop our mind, just simply so we can become a wiser and a kinder person. And then we're going to be of more benefit to others. If you're kind and wise, people are more likely to listen to you. They're more likely to kind of, feel happy when they're around you, and they may even allow you to help them. So just settling and allowing your spine just to be comfortable, resting your hands in your lap, relaxing your shoulders, and just bring to mind your inner smile. And that might mean also you're just you're raising the corners of your mouth. We focusing on the breath first of all, and then now return your attention to your body to be in touch with these very simple sensations. So starting at the crown, notice the sensations on the crown of the head. Maybe there's some tingling or a feeling of slight pressure, maybe warmth, maybe coolness, or maybe just nothing. And that's fine too. Now just move down to your face and notice the sensations in your face. Are you tensing up any of the facial muscles, the forehead, around the eyes, the jaw? Can you let a little softness come into your face as you just sort of relax your face? Just allow your attention to come now to your neck and your throat. And just notice any sensations there. And now your shoulders. See if you can just soften your shoulders, allow them to drop down. Do you notice any sensations there? And how are your shoulders feeling today? A little tight? And if you notice any tension or discomfort, can you simply acknowledge that for the time being? Maybe we don't have to change immediately for the better. We can just let it be. Notice your attention now, allow it to flow down both arms at the same time. Just notice any simple sensations at your upper arms. Maybe some tingling around your elbows, the lower arms, and your hands and fingers. You'll probably find there's more sensation in your hands, the palms, and than there is maybe in your upper arms. So just feel the sensations in the fingers and the palms. You might feel some, I don't know, some throbbing as the blood is moving through. Maybe you can feel gentle tingling. And having activated all these sensations into awareness, can you rest both arms and hands on their physical support? So it could be the arms of your chair or your lap, and release their weight into gravity. So just let it go into gravity. And bring your attention now to your heart center. And what do you find here? Can you feel the breath along with the other sensations? Do you notice your heart beating? And as we notice our natural out breath, you can take this opportunity to release, allowing anything unhelpful or unwanted, anything that's not really serving you, just allow it to flow away with the exhalation. Now bring your attention to your abdomen, your belly. Rest your attention within your body at the level of your navel and sense the sensations here. Now go in a little deeper, just down through your pelvis to the base of your spine, to the coccyx, and see if you can feel any sensations there. Feel the weight or the pressure of the weight of your pelvis, your upper body on your sits bones. And can you release that weight into your cushion? Can you rest comfortably there? And just allow your attention to flow down both legs at the same time. Just noticing the simple sensations at both hip joints, your quads, your upper legs, your knees, the lower legs, and finally at your feet, the soles of the feet. What do you feel? The top of the foot, your toes. And having activated all these sensations into awareness, can you rest both legs on the ground and release their weight into gravity? Well, you're not on the ground really when you allow the weight to go into your feet, which are on the ground, if you have them that way. And just now rest your body in this position and allow it to settle down and be comfortable here. Resting your attention with your body and your breath. And each time you exhale, just use it as an opportunity to deepen the sensation of release, releasing discomfort, anything unhelpful or unwanted. Some of these things that we are kind of distracting us, lead us into having these little mini documentaries into the future that might not even be true. So releasing yourself deeper into the here and now, into your meditation. You can relax your concentration for a moment, and if you do have anything you'd like to say or share or ask, you can do that now. Otherwise, we will move on to today's session. Is everyone okay? Okay. Thanks, TJ. So remember we said at the beginning of last week's session that mindfulness allows your mind and your attention to stay engaged with the familiar object without losing touch or being distracted somewhere else. And the strength of the connection between your mindfulness and its object really depends on how familiar you are with it. And maybe you have some associations you've got built up in relation to it. The more familiar you are with an object, the stronger the associations. The better our mindfulness is able to keep that object in the foreground of our awareness for a longer period, allowing our concentration to deepen. So, implications for our practice of mindfulness or meditation is to take care in building up that familiarity and strong associations through repeatedly returning our attention to our chosen object of mindfulness, so much so that we just naturally gravitate toward it. And so, the breath is just, we just have this intimate relationship with our breath. It's there all the time. So it becomes kind of effortless. So you think it's almost like they have this term in Tai Chi Chuan where, I'm part of this Tai Chi Chuan community. I'm a teacher there now as well. And they talk about effortless effort. So I think that applies here too, with this effortless experience of mindful connection. So it's not about pushing, like gritting your teeth and, I got to really try how to meditate. You can't force your mind to conform. But if you relax and give yourself some space and don't make judgments, and you have a consistent, familiar object of meditation over time, and you practice, I guess that's the thing, consistency. So there's another natural ability that we have of our mind, and it's called introspection. Introspection is a little bit like a spy, checking and monitoring how our mind and body are doing in our meditation. So I don't know if any of you knew Bewitched in the 60s. And there was this neighbor called Mrs. Craddock. And she lived on the opposite side of the road of Samantha's family. And she's always peering from behind the curtains. And her husband was always telling her off. She was always checking up on them. So like in the meditation, at the beginning of the meditation where we talk about not following the sounds, don't be Mrs. Craddock, just leave the sounds alone. Now you can be Mrs. Craddock. So your introspection alerts you to your mind being distracted. Sometimes it takes a minute or two before you realize you've traveled somewhere else. or that you've fallen asleep. And introspection just kind of says, hey, what you doing? And it enables us to quickly return our attention back to our object of mindfulness. And then again, we're returning, reminding, returning, and it just strengthens our practice. So the stronger your concentration, the stronger your mindfulness, the easier it is to notice these kinds of deviations, because there's a contrast between being attentive to the object and then being distracted somewhere else, like tomorrow's dinner. So the strength of your introspection increases in step with that of mindfulness. And these two natural abilities of ours can support one another. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? Does it make sense? Last week, everyone was really chatty. This week, everyone's really quiet. Okay. Okay.
Venerable Katy, I have a
That's
question maybe.
Cynthia.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cynthia.
Hi. Cynthia, do you want
Hi.
to, are you able to take your camera, put your camera on?
Only because I might get disconnected
Oh,
because
okay. That's right.
yeah,
I remember.
sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I want to do it, but I get totally
Okay, no worries.
disconnected.
I understand.
Thank you so much. Venerable Katy, my struggle has been like if I do the breathing meditation versus like because my understanding is that's more a neutral object as opposed to thinking of a virtuous object such as the Buddha, that I find that I'm more, my mind goes more off, like gets distracted more frequently when I do the just the breathing. It's as if that spy that you're talking about is the one distracted almost. Whereas if I do Buddha, trying and think of Buddha, I seem to have more concentration. And my question just is that like, am I just feeling a gap, or is there something that I still need to address based on
No,
that? Like, if
no,
that makes sense.
you
Thanks.
don't. It sounds like, some people are what they call visualizers. So you can see the Buddha in your mind's eye, and you obviously have a strong connection with the Buddha. And so therefore, that is a very easy object of concentration for you, the Buddha. It's not the same for everyone. Some people are just not able to even see the Buddha in their mind's eye. They can't, that they might be able to feel that the Buddha is there, but sometimes not even that. So with the breath is something you're doing all the time. It's with you all the time. And I think it can be the simplest way, the easiest way to find your way into concentration. But for you, focusing on the Buddha is easier. You'll only find that what we're doing here, the focusing on the breath, um, will serve your meditation, your visualization meditations. Um, so does that answer your question? It really is.
Yes,
Everybody's
thank
different. Everyone's different. And it doesn't mean to say that just because this is a mindfulness course and we're talking about focusing on the breath and feeling sensations, it doesn't mean to say there's anything wrong with you, because your concentration is better when you're focused on a Buddha. Does that make
thank you,
sense?
Venerable.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, good. Anybody else? No? Okay, let's keep going. So, in fact, what Cynthia said leads into a little bit what we're going to talk about next, which is working with distractions and dullness. So once you start paying attention to your experiences, including the body and the breath, you do start to become aware of how your attention does not stay with the object of mindfulness. And these processes that interrupt and draw our attention are, broadly speaking, dullness and distraction. So when you're feeling dull, that just means a loss of alertness and vividness of attention. And you might be drowsy and sleepy and spacing out, blanking out of the mind. You don't know what you want, don't even know what you were thinking for 5 minutes. You might feel dark and foggy. You just have an overall lack of energy in the mind, and it's not really clear or alert and not really able to engage in the object. So we've all experienced that. And, some antidotes to that could be you just can crack open your eyes a little bit, allow some light in. Take a nice deep breath. You can visualize your spine as light. And if after doing and change your position, and if after doing a few things, you really are still feeling sleepy, Geshe Dakpa, our 92-year-old Tibetan Geshe here in San Francisco, would tell us just get up and go and wash your face with a cold, wet cloth. Take a sip of water. And also the position of the head is helpful too, because if you're kind of like with your head kind of down like this, that's conducive to sleeping. So distraction, technically refers to the movement of your attention away from your object of meditation. So you go towards the sound. You'll get drawn away by thoughts, plans. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe you need to go to the bathroom, or maybe you've sort of future tripping. And so this is just too much energy in the mind. It prevents the mind from kind of settling down and stabilizing, focusing on your object of mindfulness. And the most common type of distraction, and it also contributes to our level of stress as well, is this compulsive involuntary thinking. We have these many thoughts that just capture our attention. We just love to be distracted, shiny objects. And it just keeps us involved in matters of the past or imaginary future, often accompanied by various emotional reactions. And half the time, it's just a made up thing. It's just amazing. It's like when you watch a movie, and it's like a scary movie, and you're all really scared, and it's all smoke and mirrors, but you're still the music, the lighting, the makeup, the everything. So how do we work with it? So in this process of developing mindfulness, we need to learn to become aware of the various reactions that affect the functioning of our body and our mind. So, you might start to be aware of uncomfortable tension in the body or dullness and distracting thoughts. And this, these are affecting the mind, and this might be a little bit disappointing and maybe frustrating. But actually, the fact that you're even noticing it is a sign of progress in your practice. So even though Cynthia prefers and finds it easier to concentrate on an image of the Buddha, she did notice that when she focuses on the breath, the mind is more distracted. So that's, becoming aware of what's going on is definitely the first step. But you can't do anything if you're not aware of it. So when you're constantly becoming aware of distractions and dullness, and you keep repeatedly and very gently returning your mind to the simple sensations in the body, you can begin the process of weakening these old habits of distraction and dullness. And if you're having a meditation session and it's just really impossible, you just get up and walk around, like Geshe-la said. Also, if you're just really distracted, just get up and walk around. Because if you keep fighting with yourself on the meditation mat, you're not going to want to come back to it, because it will be just like a place of argument with yourself. And every time you see that meditation mat, you're going to just go, I don't think so. So now we are going to do a breathing meditation. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to share about being distracted or not being distracted? Falling asleep? Anything you want to ask? Bill, you have this very alert eyes, and can see them moving, and I've just, is it hard for you to unmute yourself?
No, I just did. No, right now the eyes, I'm just going back and forth between looking at you and looking at my notes.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to share? No.
Not right now. A lot of the stuff you're saying is making a lot of sense in
Okay.
regards to, but I found the same thing you mentioned when my head's down like this, especially like when I first wake up, try to do an early morning meditation. If I go like this, I'm done for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as
Go
long as I
back to
can,
sleep.
yeah, that's why I have an alarm set for 40 minutes later, just to make sure.
Ah, that's excellent. Well done, Bill. That's fantastic. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to meditation 2. So in this meditation, the sensations of your natural breath will be the object of your mindfulness. So you're going to repeatedly return your attention to the sensations of the breath. So it's helpful to think that the more times we get to return our attention gracefully and kindly to the breath sensations, the stronger the connection and familiarity between mindfulness and the breath will come. And so also each time you notice this natural exhalation and the subtle feeling of physical release, consciously associate that with a chance to release any tension in the body and any mental agitation. And this way you can build up a positive association with mindfulness of breath. And so this becomes very true when your introspection, when your Mrs. Craddock alerts you to the presence of involuntary reactive thinking, fantasy thinking, or sleepiness, dullness of the mind. And so then you, at that point, you will remind yourself to exhale, to allow anything unnecessary or unneeded in this moment just to flow away and to be released. So just returning your attention to your body again, noticing areas of softness and ease, relaxation, comfort. And can you welcome these feelings and allow yourselves to enjoy them while they're here? And also notice areas of tension or tightness and uncomfortable feelings. And can you just simply acknowledge them and not feel like you have to change them immediately for the better and just let them be? Now, I'm not suggesting that you just force yourself to sit in an uncomfortable position and then, of course, you end up in more pain later. You know your own limits. So, work with your own body. And check in with the sensations at your face. Are you tensing up any of the facial muscles around the forehead, around the eyes, around the jaw? And can you gently relax these muscles and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease and comfort into your face? And can you just allow this softening and relaxing to spread on its own to the rest of the body, helping your body to settle into meditation in its own time? Now, see if you can focus in on the sensations associated with the breath. So some of you will notice these subtle sensations around our nostrils. And the inhalation will be slightly different to the exhalation. So according to how you've been trained, according to the shape of your nose, you may feel the sensation of the inhalation and exhalation in different parts of the nostril. Maybe the tip of the nose, the sides. My Vipassana teachers were Burmese, and they would ask us to focus at a spot on the very base of the nose. So Ajahn Brahm might teach it slightly differently, where Nim sometimes practices. So if you do have a prior practice of focusing on the breath and around the nostrils, you do that one. But if this is new to you, you decide what you can notice. You may also notice this sort of the hairs on the inside of the nostril moving. Now, other people might prefer to focus on the breath sensations around the chest cavity. So as you inhale, the diaphragm drops down and the ribs expand, and they expand 360 degrees all the way around, hopefully equally. And as you exhale, the diaphragm kind of pushes up all of that stale air out of the lungs. You might feel the ribs contract. So it's not just the chest rising and falling, it's the whole of the thoracic cavity. So just for a moment, experiment with me. Experiment. So just take a few breaths in normally and notice the sensations in the chest cavity, in the ribs expanding. So notice how your ribs might be expanding. Now I want you to focus on the ribs just at the side of the body. And just focus your attention on the side rib. Now focus your attention on the back ribs. It might be a little more difficult. We don't have a huge amount of proprioception in that area, a huge amount of readily available sensation. And then focus on the front, the ribs in the front and the sternum and the chest. For those people that may not be visualizers, physical sensation might make more sense to you. For people who are visualizers, that makes more sense. So now the belly. Now for me, belly's not really a place where I focus my breath, but one person in one of the classes said, oh yeah, that's the easiest for me. So you breathe in and out of your nostrils and you feel the belly just rising and falling and a little bit of pressure in your waist. Now, just for a few moments or a few minutes, you can either rest your attention on one of these breath sensations, the nostrils, the chest, the belly, or you can alternate. I wouldn't do it all at once, you'll get confused. And just allow yourself to, and just breathe in and out slowly, just allowing yourself to just really feel and experience your in-breath and your out-breath. And this breath, this is you. This is all you, this breath. And each time you notice your exhalation, use it as an opportunity to releasing anything unhelpful and unwanted, just in the same way we exhale to let go of the stale air in our lungs. And if you wish, you can gently say, very quietly say to yourself the guiding word, release, each time you notice an exhalation. And this just reminds the body it doesn't need to hang on to anything unnecessary, whether tightness, contraction. Allows the mind, reminds the mind it can let go of thoughts. It can let go of fantasy and rumination and memory. All these things that preoccupy us. Can release drowsiness, dullness. Just allowing all of that to float away with the exhalation. So you're not forcing anything to happen, just effortless effort. You're not pushing anything away. Excuse me. And when you notice your attention's distracted somewhere else, or you're feeling drowsy, just very simply invite it to come back to the breath sensations. And just release on the exhalation. If you noticed your mind is traveling, just bring it back very gently to the breath. Your breath sensations. Just the breath. Alrighty, everyone, just relax. Okay, anybody, anything that you discovered, that you felt, that you didn't understand? Cynthia, I want to hear how that was for you. Cynthia, did you fall asleep?
Hi, Venerable. I'm here.
Hi.
So it's helpful for me when actually someone's guiding for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. It is always, yeah, it's
It
definitely.
keeps me in that, just that. It's as if your voice is my my introspection, trying to help me, focus on the object. So I guess that's where I kind of need improvement, in that when I'm alone, then, like, actually, maybe I'm now segueing to a question. Would it, like, when I'm doing it alone, would it, is it okay, like, if I have, because my challenge is, like, if your voice is guiding me, is it make sense for me to read something so that I'm guiding, but then that really does not let me in on a meditation? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. And I wouldn't read because you're not meditating, you're reading.
Yeah.
I would record the meditation and then you just play it back to yourself and then you kind of guide yourself. So
Oh,
if
right. Of
there
course. Right. Makes sense.
if there's a particular meditation that you like, or you can even, I'm not sure if this video is available. I think it is. I think it goes up onto YouTube. So you can just yeah, it does. T's saying it does. So you can just take the video and just move to the parts where we're doing the meditation, and you can just turn the meditation on. So you can do that as well.
So
Um,
how do I wean myself? Is that a goal that I should be able to wean myself off of that at
you,
some,
you,
I
you,
guess I could, right? With repetition.
you're gonna know, because one day, somebody leading you is going to get annoying, and you'll know when it's time. But you can also
Okay,
do
thanks.
you can do a little bit of both. So, I mean, if don't sit down with plans to do a 1 hour meditation on your own, because I guarantee you'll get up off the cushion very quickly. My suggestion would be like 5 minutes or 3 minutes. If you have a watch that will, or a phone or something that will, you can set, just set it for 5 minutes. And if you want to do any more, do another 5 minutes. And if you don't want to do any more, just get up and go do something else. But the important thing is consistency. So if you do 3 minutes or 5 minutes every day, excuse me, every day, you'll gradually over time, you're going to build up a little bit of meditation muscle. It's a bit like going to the gym, swimming, yoga, anything. You're creating a habit and familiarity and new neural pathways in a bit positive direction.
That makes sense, well, Katie. Because the very first practice that I was able to memorize was the Vajrasattva. It just seems to be something that I was leaning towards, that kind of made some transformations in me. But that makes sense because that became just natural. And then for some reason, I actually memorized that sooner than the refuge, even. Um, so maybe that's kind of just me the familiarization with some other practices also. Um, yeah, thanks.
It could be that that's how you came in, with a familiarity with these kinds of practices. So then when you start to do them, like the Vajrasattva or the meditation on the Buddha, so the visualizations of the deities, makes more sense to you. Bill, how was that?
Um, Honestly, it's like, I'll be honest, a couple times I caught myself like almost starting to doze.
Uh-huh.
Could be also because of the hour. I've been up, it's 9 o'clock at my time, and I've been up since 4:30. So
Oh, it's
so it's
bedtime.
so it's so that could be contributing to that. But I do like
Yeah.
the technique of listening as I'm doing the meditation.
Hmm.
I just have to basically pull myself back, into the now rather than letting my mind wander, in part because of the time.
You know, um, I when I was I have a psychology degree, a master's in clin psych in Australia, and when I used to think that my most brilliant dissertations were written around midnight, and then I would look at them in the morning and it's absolute rubbish. And I was like, why on earth did I think that was brilliant? Because when I looked at it, it certainly wasn't. So I think, we're definitely not performing well at nighttime if we haven't slept. So I can totally relate to that. Yeah. The concentration is definitely not as good for me. Anyway, some people are like to stay up all night and write, but I really don't think you do your best work at that time. Yeah. So Kimberly just left. She has, I mean, I don't know if yeah, she has nursing staff around her. She's in palliative care. Nim, are you available to talk, and how is that going for you? His name's probably
All good, Venerable Katy.
good.
Now,
Oh, you sound very alien. Oh my God.
diving to the mountain.
We didn't get any of that. You can put it in the chat. Your internet's not great there. Yvonne, how are you?
So I feel like, oh, I don't think I have my camera. Sorry. We could.
Oh, I'd love to see you. There you are. Hi.
I came in late, so I didn't realize I didn't have it on.
No, that's okay.
Which is, I feel like it was really helpful in the way that so I came in late just because I was right before, really in the middle of a lot of things going on today. Just had a really busy day. And so I came on to the class, but I also feel like it was a really good practice of how to go from that to try to be mindful.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do great, but it made me realize that it made me really practice, because I was still thinking about what I need to do and just all these things that are going on. So I feel like it just was a good practice to realize that it's not very easy to do.
Yeah.
And so I stood up and I walked around, which I didn't realize that was even something that you could do, which it did help a little bit. But now after the meditation, I realized all the things I was thinking about and what worried about really aren't that important as I thought.
Oh,
So I feel like that was
that's
helpful to help me realize that not all these things we feel are really important, sometimes they're not that afterwards. So
yeah.
I learned a lot with making some of the mistakes, I guess.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think it's really good when you have a challenging situation and then you're able to reel it in and you're like, oh, look what I did. I did good. You did good. You did it. And so what I understand you've learned from that is that you do have the power to reel in your mind when you want to, when you need to. So what's fantastic about that is, when you've written an email and you sent it in the heat of the moment and then you just really wished you didn't, you can't retract that. And the same with your speech. You can't retract things sometimes. It's out. So I think sometimes it's better to do what you just did, which is just try and make a shift. And then you succeeded. And then you realize after that shift, the things that you thought were super important actually are not, and they can be resolved. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
really
Yvonne.
liked that part. That's just a reminder. If anything, it just can really help with that. Even, if I can't get really mindful and clear my mind, but I like that that's even something that helps change that perspective about things, which I really, really did really appreciate.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. Rinchen. Hello. Are you there? Rinchen may be having difficulty unmuting, but that's okay.
I'm here. Sorry.
No worries. How are you doing?
Unfortunately, I was dozing.
You and Bill. Is it late where you are?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Let me look. It's 10 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
but I woke up early this morning, so
Yeah, Bill did too.
normally I can stay up till 11:30, but it's hard today.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I know, I understand it with all these time zones we've got, it can be a little bit tricky. And the Vajrasattva's even later. It's in another hour. So, was there anything that you were able to notice or were you just sleeping? And that's okay too, because you might have
Well, I
needed
did
to.
the meditation, and then I think unfortunately during part of the conversation I fell asleep.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
So the meditation was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is a meditation, because we're a meditation called 9-round breathing, which is really helpful, very grounding. And I don't know how many of you have actually done that meditation. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. Rinchin, can you go ahead and just mute yourself? Thank you. Nope. T-Joy, just mute her. There you go. It's usually it's a preparatory exercise for balancing and grounding the body prior to doing the more esoteric practices in Tibetan Buddhism. So I think it's helpful for everyone to do it, however. So it involves a bit of visualization and a bit of analysis and some concentration on the breath as well. So so you'll have to listen to my words, because I won't be mirroring you. I'll be opposite to you. So just place the back of we're also doing some right brain, left brain, work here as well. So just place the back of your right finger on your left nostril and just close it very gently. You don't have to come put any pressure on there or anything. Some people are able to direct their mind to focus on one nostril or the other without doing this. But I think when you're first starting this, it's best to use physical support. So inhale through the right nostril. Imagine you're inhaling light, blissful, radiant white light. And this light fills your whole brain, your body, your lungs. And then you just pause very gently at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left. You move the finger over through the left. All of your unhealthy attachments and desire, anxieties, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you ever do enough. Just breathe all that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. Then repeat. Breathe in through the right, light. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left all of your unhealthy attachments, and include addictions here as well. It could be addiction to shopping, could be addiction to not feeling like you have enough stuff and you want more. It's a kind of a grasping energy. So breathe that out. And one more time, breathing in light. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale all of your attachment energy. It's just leaving the body as thick, black, yucky smoke. Now breathing in through the left nostril, blocking the right with the back of the left index finger. Breathe in light. Pause, and then exhale through the right all of your anger energy and bitterness and grudges, disappointments, depression. Depression's internalized anger. Breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. Breathing in light through the left. Pause, and then exhale through the right all of your anger energy. Breathe in light through the left. Fill both lungs, and then exhale through the right all of your anger. And just relax. Breathing in now through both nostrils, light. Pause. And then exhale through both nostrils all of your ignorance energy. And if you haven't heard about ignorance in your Buddhist classes, or if this is the only Buddhist class you've ever attended, it really refers to not really understanding the way things truly exist. Not really understand on a conventional level. not really understanding like math or how to get from A to B or a myriad number of other things because we just don't know how to do them. And then there's also this idea of confusion that comes in with ignorance. You just don't have a very clear mind. You don't know what to do. So you know in your own heart the difference between when your mind is clear and you understand something and when it is confused and muddled. So with this part of the meditation, you imagine you breathe out all of that confusion and the muddledness with as thick black yucky smoke. And you imagine you're cleaning with that the dust off the mirror of your wisdom, the clear mind. And just breathe in again, light, and exhale all of the confusion and the muddledness and the ignorance. Breathing in light, pause, and then exhale all your confusion. And that's the first set. So we do 3 sets, and so we start again, breathing in light through the right nostril. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left all your unhealthy attachment, unhealthy desire, unhealthy wanting, needing, feeling needy and grasping. Breathe it out. Breathe in light. Pause, and then just exhale all of the unhealthy attachments. And breathe in light. Pause, and then exhale the unhealthy attachments. Could be chocolate. Change hands. Breathe in light through the left nostril this time. Pause, and then exhale through the right all of your anger energy. There could be a situation that's kind of bugging you right now. So just exhale all of that out. Breathe in light. Pause, and then exhale all of your anger energy. Breathe in light. Pause and exhale your anger. Breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause and then exhale all your confusion and ignorance and muddled mind. Imagine you're cleaning the dust off your mirror. Breathe in light, filling your lungs, and then exhale all of your ignorance and confusion. Again, breathe in light. Pause and then exhale all the confusion. And this is a great one to do right before you people who are just about to go to bed, because it's almost like you're cleansing the airs. That's what it's another term for this meditation, is cleaning the airs. The air in the channels, the winds in the mind, the body. So start again, last set. Breathe in light through the right. Pause and then exhale through the left all your unhealthy attachments. Breathe in light through the right. Pause and then exhale all the unhealthy attachment. Breathing in light. Pause and exhale your attachments. Change hands. Breathe in light through the left nostril. Pause and then exhale through the right all your anger energy. Breathe in through the left. Pause and then exhale through the right all of your anger. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause and then exhale all of your anger energy. Now breathe in through both nostrils, light. Pause and then exhale any ignorance, confusion, muddled mind. Breathe that out. Get rid of it. Breathe in light. Pause and then exhale all of your ignorance energy, confusion. One more time. Breathe in light. Pause and then exhale all of your confusion. Imagine you've completely cleaned that dust off your mirror of wisdom. Your mind is happy and light and clean and clear. And just imagine you feel kind of grounded and solid. So now we just meditate for 5 minutes and just feel. Nothing to do. You've noticed your mind has traveled. Just very gently bring it back. We have 3 minutes left. Focus on the breath. Release anything you don't need. Everyone just relax. So you may have noticed that meditation in itself may have helped you focus a little bit better. Was that the case for everyone? It's actually very grounding. So I had one of my friends invited me down. She was running a center in Laguna Beach in Orange County. And she invited me down there, and there was a woman there who had a little studio. So we ran some meditation courses from there. And she hadn't really meditated before. Her husband was an actor, and they had 2 children together, and they were in this process of separation or had separated. And so there was some discussion about children and money and camp versus university or whatever, I don't know, but she got really mad. And she said, rather than engaging in discussion and getting angry and having an argument, she decided that she would remove herself from the situation. And she went to her room and she sat down and she remembered to do the 9-round breathing. And then when she finished, all the emotion had kind of eased to a certain extent. So this meditation can be done. We did a little bit extensively today because I wanted you to get an idea of it. But you can actually do this meditation in about 5 minutes. So it's the way we did it today was the way Lama Yeshe taught it. It can be found in a book called Attachment, Ego, and Liberation. It's a free book on the Lama Yeshe Wisdom Archive. I think you can, if it's on the Apple Store as well. So there's a beautiful little teaching in there, but this is the way Lama Yeshe taught it. And so I just, we had a bit of time today, so I thought I'd introduce it, but I think it's very helpful. I think what we'll do next week is we'll start with that meditation, and then you're already feeling a little bit more grounded, excuse me, before we start. Okay. So we have 3 minutes left, and I'm just wondering if anyone has something they'd like to say, go ahead. Otherwise, we can dedicate, and for the late people, you guys can go to bed or come to Vajrasattva. Yes, Yvonne.
Can you repeat the book again? The name of that?
Ego, Attachment, and Liberation. And Bill has it right there. Bill, put it closer to the camera. It's all blurry. There it is. It's a
Okay.
blue book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just got that this week.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I haven't even opened it yet, but and like when you
Isn't
said
that
the name,
cool?
I'm like,
It's
that
like,
was
oh
one of the
yeah,
books
that's
I
my
ordered.
book. So it was a 5-day meditation retreat. I think they did somewhere here in California. And this was one of the meditations that Lama Yeshe taught them. And Lama Yeshe got quite a bit of shtick from his peers for introducing us Westerners to a lot of the Tantra and Bodhicitta and these kinds of meditations because they're supposed to be kind of sacred. But he felt that our minds were kind of already into this idea of attachment to things and very busy and highly intellectually trained. So he felt that we could handle it. I think that's the long and the short of it. Okay. It's a free book. It totally is. I think you might have to offer 99 cents or something if you buy it off the Apple Store. But anyway, it's a free book. All right, everybody. So let's just dedicate any insights, any kind of anything that you've learned today, to any creative energy that you've sort of got in touch with today, to all the people of your life, and by extension, all sentient beings, and then for yourselves, sort of to help you move along your spiritual path. And then think about His Holiness the Dalai Lama, may he live long. And for any of you who are students or were students of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, his reincarnation apparently is has been born and is in Nepal, but not found yet. So just pray for a swift finding. And then if you have any teachers of your own, just wish for them to have a long life. Okay, everybody. T-Joy, thank you for hosting. Lots of love, everybody. I look forward to seeing you next week. And practice some of those meditations if you can. If you can't remember them, hopefully they'll be on the YouTube. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Okay, for session 3.
Thank you,
All right,
Pamela.
everybody.
Thank you very